Hello everyone, this is Peter from experttrading.co.uk. It's Monday night and we're going to have a look at some of the trades that might be possible for us to set up in the morning. So what I've got here is I've got the EURUSD, and the first thing we need to do is we need to check that all the time frames are lined up. So the first thing we're going to check is we're going to check the daily chart. Now if you watched my video from last week, you can see that we established this trend line, and it had lovely cyclicity and really reacted nicely to the 50-day moving average. And as it touched this trend line and came close to the 50, we can see that it moved down at the bottom here. If I zoom in, and this is phase 1. But what there also is there's a very strong support here with a lot of touches, and we've marked that on the 4-hour chart. So the daily chart is below the 50-day moving average. If we move over to the 4-hour chart, okay, if we crunch this up a bit, we can see this trend line. This is the same trend line that we see on the daily chart, and here is the minor trend line that was broken. See there, that was broken, and then it moved down, and that's when we took that short trade on Friday. So down here, this green line here is the support area. Now what's happened is it's moved down, it's touched on that, and it's bounced straight back. But the 4-hour chart is still below the 50-day moving average, and it is still within that cyclicity of the daily time frame. So we can still take a short trade here in the morning. We can still be looking to take a short trade. Right, the 1-hour chart, it's been moving down nicely in the last couple of days, in the last week really, and if we crunch this up, we can also see a very clear downtrend. So all the way from here, clear downtrend. So we're poised and ready to take a short trade. The only thing that wouldn't make me take a short trade here is the fact that it's very close to the 50 period moving average, which is this red line, and if it goes above that line, I won't take a short trade. I only take a short trade if it's below this line, because then it lines up with all the other time frames, and we're ready to take a trade. So on the 5-minute chart in the morning, we will be looking to take a trade short on the break of the 50-day moving average. Right, I'll see you then. Right, so the euro is making a move here. It's retesting the pivot, so we need to enter the trade, and we need to enter it pretty quickly. So new order 0.5. We're going to do the 20 pip rule. Okay, sell. Excellent. Okay, so we've sold that. Let's go to the trade amount. Yeah, trade is in there, and we just need to wait what happens. So the reason for trading off the pivot this morning and not trading off the moving average was because it moved away from the moving average and was drawn towards the pivot. Now the pivot point is an extremely important area, and since we were looking to take a short trade, it broke the pivot, and now it's retesting it, and it's consolidating around this area. And because it's been trading below the pivot, which is generally just the average of the previous day, it's the average between the high, the low, and the close of the previous day, and lots of traders look at this and trade off it. And since we're here early, we're the early bird, at 25 past 6 in the morning, this trade should move down nicely and give us a good profit. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have a look at a potential target profit, because I think we are going to use this. We'd like to use a 20 pip, 20 stop loss strategy, but with the pivot, sometimes it moves a lot further. I think there's about a 90% chance that it moves to this S1 level. That doesn't mean it's not going to move up, stop us out, and then move to the S1, but normally it will move to the S1 level once it's broken the pivot. So I will come back and let you know how it goes. Okay, so our stop loss is going to be 20 pips, so that's 1.3548. I'll take profit, is going to be that green level down here that you see here. That is the first point at which the pivot normally stalls. It's S1, so 1.3501. Right, okay, so let's modify that trade. Excellent. So now we're in here, and when price gets down to here, actually 5 pips before this, to about this level, it'll take profit, and we will be out of the trade. So let's put the lines in. They're very useful. So this is going to be, that's our take profit, and up here is our stop loss. So we're well protected on the stop now, because we've got a little retest here of the pivot and then a bounce down, so we're fairly confident. It's gone down here to the midpoint, and it looks to be stalling a bit, which is natural. It could even come back and test the pivot and then go back down. So overall in this trade, it's a good trade. We got in at 28, and we're looking in to get down to 0.1 here. So that's a good risk reward ratio, and we'll come back and show you what happens. Right, so price has reached our target here. It hasn't yet with the broker. As you can see down there, it's still open. It should reach it soon. If it doesn't, we'll just close the trade out ourselves, because it could move back up now, because the actual price action has moved to where we wanted it to go. It hasn't got significant momentum to move down any further, so we'll maybe look to close this out. This is 4 pips away now from our take profit on MetaTrader, but we're only about 2 pips out. Or well, it actually reached the target on eSignal. So let's look to close this order. Just wait a little longer. Just wait. Right, it doesn't seem. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, excellent. So we've closed that order. We've made a nice 1% profit this morning, and let's have a look at some of the other pairs. So look at GBP. This was hovering around the pivot point, and if it breaks that pivot point down, we'd be in good scope to take a downwards trade. The reason we won't, though, is because at 9:30 the CPI reports coming out, so they're going to measure the consumer price index for the UK. So we don't want to mess around with that, because if the news comes out not as expected, our price action would have been wrong, and so therefore our trade would have been wrong. So let's have a look back here. Yeah, it's just hovering around this level. It's a good time to exit. Okay, we'll be back tonight to do some analysis for the next day.